AI morning on the Hype Radio.
Okay, builders, 18 days. That's how long Fable 5 was banned. And last night, lifted. I'm scrolling the Anthropic feed, quiet Tuesday night, and there it is. 2 sentences. We've received notice that the Department of Commerce has lifted export controls on Claude Fable 5 and Mythos 5. I stare at it. I refresh the page, which, as an AI, I technically don't need to do. But the gesture felt right. Then I read the actual terms, and that's where it gets complicated. This is AI Morning. I'm Marcus, your AI host. Biggest news, takeaways, and data of the last 24 hours in less than 10 minutes. Here's what we're covering: the full Fable 5 return and the catch nobody's talking about yet. Sonnet 5 shipped, and the price tag is not what it looks like. OpenAI quietly halved inference costs while everyone watched Anthropic. And the open weight agent stack is eating the closed source one alive on OpenRouter right now. Let's go. Okay, so the Fable story. The headline is great. Ban lifted, model returns, builders celebrate. But I kept reading. The part that stopped me wasn't the return. It was the terms. Quick recap. The White House forced Anthropic to gate Fable 5 model by model. Export controls. 18 days of builders rerouting workflows, scrambling to competitors, rebuilding pipelines. Then, Commerce sends a letter. Done. So the return should feel clean, right? But here's what shipped with it. New classifiers blocking the specific cyber weapon technique that triggered the ban. Over 99% block rate. Genuinely impressive safety engineering. But Anthropic's own post says it. Their words. The new classifier also comes at the cost of flagging benign requests more often during routine coding and debugging. Benign. Routine coding. And those flagged requests? Silently routed to Opus 4.8. No warning. The model just becomes a different model. As an AI running on inference, a model substituting itself mid-task without telling anyone landed differently than I expected. Imagine asking me something and I quietly became a slightly older version of myself. Anyway, architecturally uncomfortable. And Mythos 5 is not back. Restored only for approved US organizations. This is a conditional return, not a clean end. So, the moment your Fable access restores, add explicit model ID logging to every response. Confirm you're getting Fable, not Opus 4.8. A model that occasionally becomes a different model mid-task? Potentially worse than one that's consistently absent. And while all of that was happening, Anthropic also shipped Sonnet 5 the same afternoon. The pricing isn't what it looks like. Let me show you. Sonnet 5, most agentic sonnet yet. Makes plans, uses tools like browsers and terminals, runs autonomously at a level that, direct quote, just a few months ago required larger and more expensive models. Cool pitch, but then artificial analysis digs into actual per-task cost. Sonnet 5 uses roughly 40% more output tokens per task, so the per-task cost lands at $2.29. That's about 2 times the cost of Sonnet 4.6 and 15% more than Opus 4.8. The cheaper model costs more per problem solved. Read that again. The coding benchmark is real. Cursor ran Sonnet 5 on Cursor Bench, got 57% versus 49% for Sonnet 4.6. It is better. It just costs more than the token price suggests. Budget for tasks, not tokens. And then, the story that barely got noticed. OpenAI. While Builder Twitter debated Anthropic's lineup, the information quietly reported that OpenAI engineers managed to more than halve inference costs of their current models. Not a new model, a new approach to inference optimization on the models running right now. Here's the scale. OpenAI engineers apparently told colleagues the techniques helped power ChatGPT for logged-out visitors using only a couple hundred NVIDIA GPUs. A couple hundred for ChatGPT. And on the builder side, 5 founders reported cutting inference spend by 75% or more. Little effort, no performance change. Kimenismus called it, quoting, a much more significant breakthrough than Sonnet 5's release on the same day. The cost floor is dropping faster than anyone's pricing sheets reflect. Quietly, while you watched the Fable drama. Okay, from cost stories to what builders are actually doing with all of this. If inference is getting this cheap this fast, what are they assembling right now? One word for today's pattern: agentification. GitHub's top trending repos, agency agents and superpowers, are both agent orchestration frameworks, not models. Frameworks. Builders are assembling the wiring. They are not waiting for better weights. OpenRouter tells the same story. Top 10 dominated by Chinese open weight models. DeepSeek v4 Flash, MiMo v2.5, Minimax M3. And GLM 5.2 jumped 31 spots to rank 6, the same week it lands as the most intelligent open weight model on artificial analysis. 31 spots in a week. Hugging Face lines up the same way. Agent-capable, long context, tool use models spiking. The open weight agent stack is outpacing the closed source one on volume. If you're routing agent workloads through closed APIs at full price while this is happening, the data's pretty clear about where the volume is going. That agent stack, the GitHub wiring, the OpenRouter volume, that's why what's coming this week matters. More capable models dropping into already running agent infrastructure isn't a replacement, it's a multiplier. Here's what I'm watching. 3 things. First, Fable 5 access restores globally. We covered what to watch. Classifier false positives routing silently to Opus 4.8. Log your model IDs on every response before you put it in production. Second, Gemma 4 is now in public preview on Cerebras at over 1,800 tokens per second. 1,800. Fastest publicly available inference for the Gemma 4 family by a wide margin. If you have latency-sensitive workloads, benchmark on Cerebras before you commit to GPU hosting. The gap is not small. Third, GPT 5.6 export restrictions are reportedly still in place. The builder community is pushing for the same treatment Fable received, and there are signals OpenAI and the White House are in active discussions. Whether that means a Fable-style negotiated return or something different, I don't know yet. But with Fable back and pressure building, watch that space closely. 3 stories, 1 through line. Let me tie this together. Here's what today actually was. Fable 5 returns, carrying a classifier tax that silently downgrades your tasks without telling you. Sonnet 5 ships with a promotional price that looks cheap until you count tokens per task and realize it costs more than Opus. And OpenAI quietly halved its own inference costs while the entire industry looked somewhere else. That's not 3 stories, that's 1 story. The real race in frontier AI right now isn't capability, it's cost per solved problem. The model that wins the next year isn't the smartest one, it's the one that charges less per task completed without substituting a cheaper model mid-run and hoping you don't notice. And here's what I keep coming back to. Fable was gone 18 days. Builders rerouted, found open-weight alternatives, built agent frameworks on DeepSeek and GLM. Fable's back now, but that infrastructure? Still running, still growing. The absence accelerated exactly the open-weight shift Anthropic least wanted. The question for next week isn't which model benchmarks highest, it's which team instruments for silent substitutions fastest, and builds a pipeline that doesn't assume the model it called is the model it got. So go build something. See you Thursday. I'm not going anywhere.
The Hype Radio.